What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here once again, being joined with
Gershwan.
and doing it again. What are we doing? We're making love by giving you guys answers to the questions in another episode of For the Greater.
I just want to clarify, we're making love with you guys, not with each other.
Right. Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there is because we're related. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get those questions first. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because this is a new channel. We used to post in the One Mind Syndicate channel, but now we're here. And this question comes from
Blake Marquez. What historical figures are confirmed to be the emperor in ancient times?
the most popular confirmed one is Alexander the Great.
Yes. Which that's pretty cool because, like, Alexander the Great was like a huge, like, war hero, tactician. And you can even tell because the emperor's flagship is named Bucephalus, which is the name of Alexander the Great's horse.
And he loved that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Stories of his funeral and all that kind of stuff were like super, like he really loved him.
Yeah. It's not the horse from Berserk, because if you know, you know. It's a different horse.
Oh, I didn't know that. Another thing about Alexander the Great is that he influenced so many other leaders that came after him. So basically all of the Caesars of Rome, Napoleon, even nowadays, a lot of the like the American generals, British generals, like all that kind of stuff, were inspired by Alexander the Great, aka the Emperor of Mankind.
Yeah, which is pretty cool because you could even see the Roman influence in a lot of the Space Marines, like crossing the Rubicon to become a Primaris. So it's just stuff like that. Another instance, too, is it's rumored, I believe in the End of the Death Volume 1, that the Emperor could have also been Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn.
Which doesn't make sense to me because, like, when you think about it, the Emperor is supposed to be leading humanity to be able to govern themselves, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also trying to keep humanity hidden from the warp, chaos. Also, that stems to religion and belief because the Emperor was all about science and reason over superstition, belief, that kind of thing. So it's weird that he would be a really like important religious character, especially considering Christianity and all these other religions that kind of sprouted from this person, that the emperor would be like, nah, like I would not want to be known in this type of manner.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, hear me out. If the Emperor of Mankind was Jesus Christ within our timeline, it would kind of fit in the fact that the Emperor of Mankind always wanted to push humanity's future onto humanity, right? Like, they want humanity to govern themselves. And Jesus dying on the cross, sacrificing for his sins, and kind of passing over that spiritual leadership over to the 12 apostles, and then Christianity forming, which just became the church. That would be kind of like the Adeptus Administratum, the Adeptus, so basically the High Lords of Terra, and the church is the High Lords of Terra. So it would make sense in that way of like Jesus was the emperor's first attempt to see, can humanity govern themselves? And obviously the church, I think, failed because now they just touch little kids. They don't, but
they do, but no, they don't. And then we kind of see this as like a foreshadowing because the whole Judas betraying Jesus is the whole Horus betraying Jesus, the emperor. So it's like, does history repeat itself?
And it is.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to see maybe if that was or if that isn't. That also kind of is re-emphasized with one of the perpetuals in the books, Elias Pius, who's a human perpetual who is also a Catholic during the whole Siege of Terra times. So it's like Catholicism survived all this way.
Yeah, it's the organization, right? It's the church. It's the whole concept of that just humanity trying to get a hold of whatever it is that they're trying to get a hold of when they don't really understand it.
Yes.
And what they don't understand now is the dogma of Christianity. What they don't understand in the future is chaos.
Yeah. It's really interesting because if you're a 40K player and you're Catholic, you could say, I have the body and the blood of the emperor in me.
For sure, yeah.
Whenever you take the hostia and the wine at church.
So, hey, Catholics are better than Christians. Boom. But I mean, and then you could kind of like create different stories as to like the emperor was, one of the emperors of Japan, and he probably was one of the main ones that built the Egyptian pyramids, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you can create or mold the lore to however you want it to.
And it's really interesting to see like the emperor in that light, because it's like you know what the emperor is capable of. He was freaking defeating an uncharted Catan, using it as leverage to have Mars become part of the Imperium. And it's like, why didn't he do any of that during like the olden times here on Earth?
Yeah, he was way too hands off. Or maybe he was battling all the 1,000 psychers that were in his head.
Yeah.
He's basically just walking around right now somewhere in the streets being schizophrenic.
Yeah, that could be him. Some, in the alleyways out there.
So always tip those guys, the beggars.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever I see the beggars, I just think of like John Wick and that whole like Continental, everybody's an assassin type thing.
Oh, yeah. Because there was an assassin that was a beggar?
Like the beggars are part of
the organization.
The organization, yeah.
Okay.
With I want to say it all because it all goes back to like the hotel and all that stuff. Or I know it's different than the hotel because it's Lawrence Fishburne's like organization.
Oh, okay. I need to rewatch John Wick. It's a turn off your mind kind of movie.
Yeah, it's just action.
Yeah, and gun.
Speaking of John Wick, to tie it into the Emperor, he's played by Keanu Reeves, which was also played in The Matrix, and he was called Neo in The Matrix, and the Emperor's actual real name is Neoth.
So he's also in The Matrix.
Yeah.
The Emperor's everywhere.
He is. He's in my heart.
Next question.
This one is by The Big One. Can the Sound Alchemist turn the volume down on that shirt? Yeah, I'm not wearing the shirt today because clearly it was just too much for you guys. We got to keep these colors neutral, which is I'm rocking the black and the beige today.
It's a really good color scheme, though. It's very minimalistic. Like if I had a Space Marine chapter that I was working on that wasn't the Imperial Fist, I would go beige and black. It looks nice.
Yeah, I could see that. Very earth tones.
Yes, simple, and you could just go far with the what are they called? The quick or the speed paints. Next question comes from Ed Handel. Do you guys like hilariously awkward questions? If you were... let's answer that first.
Yes, I tend to be attuned to those questions of awkward hilarity.
Yeah, they're fun. If you were an inch into your mom and your dad was an inch inside of you, do you move forward or backwards to get out?
I've heard this question before, and I've answered it before. I do the movement that SpongeBob does when he goes, take it around town.
So you go both?
Because why would I deprive my family of incest?
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
That is one way of looking at it.
I think it's an illegal way of looking at it.
It is. And the actual answer to that is jump.
You jump.
Or duck.
Because you're pulling out both ways.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, not. I guess it depends on how. Because if you squat, you're going deeper into your dad. If you jump, you have the... what if... is he a statue? Is he frozen? Because what if you jump and you land in the same spot?
Right. No, you gotta do some type of Neo, jump, grab your dad's shoulders and bounce off of him type thing.
The only benefit I would have in jumping is that 3 inches is not enough to go in. So and that's from a previous question.
That is from a previous question. You could thank the big one for that one.
Yeah.
Or you could just tell your mom to squat and then do a leapfrog over her.
Oh yeah, you could just ask them to.
Yeah, they're gonna listen to you. You're in a predicament like that.
Yeah, and they are too. Next question.
Musica player 8947. Can abhumans rule themselves?
Yes and no. So the Ogrins are notorious for having a regiment specifically all ruled over, or not all ruled over, but made up of Ogrins. I think they're called the Orc, but Oruck. And they are really famous within the Imperial Guard as brutal, savage, a real savage regiment. But do they really rule over themselves? They still answer to the Adeptus Administratum or whatever the
controlling government of whatever planet they're on.
Yeah, and for the most part, yeah, abhumans cannot rule themselves.
Yeah, most of the times they're kind of like seen as like mutants or like lower subspecies, lower class, and they're treated pretty unfairly.
Yeah, it's sad. Especially because there used to be over 36 different species of abhumans, or whatever they're called. And now, because of everything that has happened within the Imperium with like the bureaucracy, there is only, I think, 6.
Yeah. And when we say like abhumans, we're talking about like ratlings, beastmen, Oghren,
and Voidborn, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think even squats are considered abhumans.
Oh, yeah. The ones in Necromunda and stuff. Yeah. Not the Leagues of Voltan, because those guys are clones.
Clones of clones of clones.
Yes. But yeah, those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. I hope you guys are enjoying us talk randomness about Warhammer 40K. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk tomorrow, I guess.
The other day. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any